Hello, welcome back to the Speaking of Tea podcast. You are with your host, Rochelle. And today we are celebrating walking into Aquarius energy. Ooh, it is January 21st. I am so excited. And it's also kind of cool because on my Zoom recorder, just minor details, it's the recording number 21 in the file list. So, like, synchronicity. That's cool. Okay. I love Aquarius. For me, it's like, it kind of feels like it's the beginning of the year now because like the new, like, yeah, it's the new energy. It's but the other exciting thing is that on the 22nd, tomorrow is my birthday. So like it's kind of the beginning of the year for that reason too. But Aquarius just sets the world in motion. Like, aren't Aquarius so cool? Yeah, you might get tired of us sometimes, but and I can understand. But I also don't understand because we're such the coolest energy. I'm so excited. Do you feel it? I hope I'm revving you up. Aquarius, we are so cool. Okay, you know what? Just to celebrate that, I actually have a poem that I wrote in my my second poetry book, Reverse Cycle Repeat, and it is called Aquarius. So in case you were wondering, this is how it goes. Aquarius. Thick snow falls gently, a pillowy blanket of love. Test the mind within to express the heart. Don't let your face fall. Drop, let go. Chase oneself, but don't forget to think about others. The mysterious Aquarius misleading. Deny us and we'll laugh. Try to stop us and we'll rebel. Give it your best shot. Our souls are free, love soars through the wind. We keep the fire alive throughout the frozen air of winter. Melt snow off the roofs. Catch water in a kettle, boil it hot. Water bearer now, make a pot of tea. I'm so proud every time I come back to that one. Oh, it feels so good. Expresses the love, expresses the wild freedom that is Aquarius people. Just our expansive energy and wild ideas. Like so many artists have been Aquarius, not that I and thinkers and scientists, not that I can think of all the names of them right now, but if you look it up, you'll see like Aquarius really is it. I'm like pumping with energy right now. I've also been going through this amazing 21-day to abundance challenge with Kathy Heller. I bought her book in December, right? I think it was in December. It was just released, and I listened to her podcast for a little bit. It was actually part of what inspired making this podcast really come into being. This was already emerging, but listening to her podcast really gave me the just go forward with it. Like, do what you want to do, speak what you want to speak about, and just make your dream happen. And so I made my dream happen. This is it, me living it, just talking on the microphone and putting this out into the world. But that journey really transformed so much of me, so much of blockages in my heart that were stopping me from reaching my full potential, from doing what I want to do. Like, I've always been aligned with who I am and laugh in the face of people who don't believe in me or who maybe have different opinions or oppose. Or I'm a metalhead, so most people don't actually appreciate my music and stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. I like what I like. But something that came through particularly today. I mean, it's been on my mind for a while, I guess, but it's been so long that I have let other people silence me in my energy because I'm so accommodating to their feelings. Yeah. Simply put. I love listening to metal. I love my emo music. I love my screamo and everything. This is what I grew up with. Like, this is the energy that brought me into being and brought me to life. These poets and just crazy intensive emotions of the performers, of these artists. That's why I completely fell in love with them. That's how I became. Like, my favorite band is Alisana. And a lot of people I meet in my journey of life have no taste for them whatsoever, and that's too bad. And it's sad because they're honestly incredible. You just have to just feel it past the screaming and look at the poetry of it and look at the dynamics of the way that the singers sing together and like the composition of the songs is just so different. Like they don't just follow some cookie cutter format that is every other song, not every other song in the world, but like you get a verse and then you get a chorus and you get a verse and then you get a double chorus and then you get another little verse and then chorus it out for 5 times in a row, and that's what you're singing along to. It just doesn't happen like that. No, they're so amazing and creative, and that's what I completely fell in love with, this artistic style of creating a story. The first couple albums weren't even that, and that's what I fell in love with. And then they did the trilogy. So amazing. And so like when I've had people in my life just like having these like honestly disgusting feelings about what I honestly love. Like love is bursting through my heart listening to my favorite music. And people have these very disgusting reactions. And it's so sad. And it's hard because people in my life, like, you know, I cherish them for a lot of different reasons and I hold them close. But then when they have these really negative reactions to what I actually really love, like also, I love you and I love this. And then it's sad. It's so sad. And I don't know how. I really battle, like, how do I hold this person close if they're going to be so mean about what I love? I don't know. I don't really get it, but I've always done it. I mean, now it's just more of a matter of, well, I mean, I live alone now and it's amazing and I get to just completely be who I am and no one else is taking up the airspace, the sound space around me. It's all me. And then, you know, I also love silence. I love just sitting in silence in my house. I mean, sometimes, yes. I mean, I do listen to music. I love singing to music and all this, but also just being quiet. That's a gift. There are times in my life when I craved silence so desperately. And there's always noise. Always. Like every 10 seconds, there would always be a car passing on the street. Even the rest of my house and the rest of everything was quiet. There's still always something making noise. Do you ever think about that? Let's just give a moment of silence here. How'd that feel? Did that make you feel jittery? Did it make you feel calm? Did you need to do something? Did you almost turn off the podcast? Did you, like, was there an expectation or did you enjoy it? I'm asking all these questions because I felt all those things in my life. But I love some pure silence. And I love metal. There's a punk show coming up in Port Alberni on the 31st. This band Dangerbox. They're so cool. You know how I found them? I found them on a road trip in what was it? It was in June 2024. And where was I? I was in Nelson, BC, and looking up if there's any shows and going on, punk shows particular. And then there's I wish I could remember the name of the town. It's a small town. I guess it's actually close to maybe it's actually close to where they hold big festivals that I've never been to, Shambhala. Anyway, so just rolled 45 minutes into this small town, tiny bar, 5 bands, and next to no audience. Myself and my partner, and then like a few people maybe were there, and then it was the bands, and then there maybe significant others, you know, and then if there's like 4 or 5 people per band that fill up the bar. So yeah, trying to mosh in that room, it was also sad, honestly. Like, all of you could have done a lot better moshing. Like, there's no grip to do it with. It was only me and my partner, and like, while it's fun, it's just not enough people. It's just not. But anyway, Dangerbox was awesome. These guys are like super young, and they've just got the energy. They've like so much like cool energy, and like they've they've got their like own style, but like you can hear the like kind of 2005 like emo influence, which is awesome because like they weren't alive and growing up around that time. Not at all. No, like they are, well, they're older than I was getting into that music kind of thing, but like they're still, anyway, I love it. They're awesome. I'm so excited for this punk show. I'm so excited to be in the punk rock energy. It is so uplifting and is so, oh, I'm gonna have to record again after it because like I've just never really put into words coming out of it like how beautiful it is, how connected I feel with people in the audience of a punk show, especially when there's a good mosh going. And if you're not a mosher, you're just going to imagine people smashing into each other, and it hurts, and it's angry, and it's terrible. But I'm actually the happiest person when I'm bouncing around in there, because like I don't know, it's just so full of love. Like you look at person, you make eye contact, you ram into them, and they're laughing. It's like a big hug. It's so funny just to talk about it because like it just sounds so wild if you're not in it. But it's so true. Like, yeah, like go outside and for a little breather and, well, smoke break. I do quotation marks. I don't smoke. Well, I smoke weed, but yeah. Anyway, so and then you just like chatting everybody up, like, oh my God, that was great. Oh, that moment. And, when I fell over and like, I just, 5 people bent down to pick me up and then I was flying through the mosh pit again. And then everyone was stuck because of this moment of lack of movement in the pit, but then it opens up and then we're all spinning around again. And yeah, it's so great. Honestly, I don't know at what age I would recommend that you ever start going into mosh pits. I mean, I just recommend doing mosh pits at all, and then you'll start to feel the energy. You have to be ready to feel full force somebody else's body ramming against your body and going flying. You have to be prepared to enjoy that. Also, I know it sounds ridiculous, but hey, I mean, if you've had sex before, like, what is that? Yeah, it's physical, it's movement, it's it is ramming your body into another person's body, but it feels good, doesn't it? Right? It's probably my first few times saying it out loud that like a mosh pit is a lot like sex. So just putting it out there. You should give it a try, especially if you have no activity for a while. Just saying, it's a thing. It helps. Another reason I'm so excited for the punk show, though, is that I really feel it is a beautiful moment for my healing. And I wanted a show for at least a month now. And this one just popped up the other day, so I'm super excited about it. But oh my God, healing my foot, I am just about considering myself to be amongst the land of the walking. Like I'm just a fraction away of admitting it fully. Cause well, I mean, it's still a process. No matter what point I feel like I'm more and more healed, it's still a process, which is something I've been relearning over and over again. I mean, I broke my heel, like, and had a surgery on it. It is not a simple recovery, but it's like 5.5 months now, or I guess tomorrow makes it 5 months since the surgery. Wow. Yeah, that was August 22nd. If I do math correctly, I think that makes me 5 months now. I'm not very good at math, but I think I got it. Yeah. But I'm walking. The heel feels good. Last time I saw an X-ray, like, what was it? Oh, actually a couple of months ago. Anyway, last time I saw the X-ray, it looked really good. So now it's like gonna be way better. The only problem now has been like the stiffness in the foot because like, oh, I don't know what happened down there, but it's like, yeah, it got stiff. I mean, the bones had to get realigned. They got under the skin, like they cut me open and stuff. So they've like pinched out some nerves to things. I don't fully understand it, but anyway, my walking, my left foot is still like curving inwards, like towards the right. So it's like retraining my foot, like being more conscious about my walking and making sure that I train it to be facing outwards. Well, not outwards, but like straight. um, that's a whole part of the process. And just stretching it out and stuff. And when I remember to like give it some oils and stuff so that it can have more movement, and then when I give it some oil I can massage it. Wow, what a theory. What a discovery. We all knew that. You just keep rediscovering things that you already knew. That's life. I did that a couple of days ago. I got some coconut oil and I just like really went at it and massaging and like just feeling it and pulling it around. And there's definitely some growth there. And then 2 days ago, I decided I wanted to go for a little little therapeutic walk. So I found a park just like down the road from my place. So it was Weaver Park, and the ground, there's so much mossy ground there. Like there's a bunch of trees, so then the needles fall down, the moss grows over it. So it's like really comfy, and like it is so good for the feet. So good and feels so nice. I love walking on moss. That's part of what I fell in love with coming out to BC was the mossy ground, how comfy it is. You can just lay there all day, or you can walk on it and bare feet, and it's just so happy. So I have an extra new appreciation for it with my condition now. Anyway, so I was walking through, and just to practice walking, it's still a practice. Like it's still not perfect and feeling amazing. So anyway, so then I like continue down this trail. So here's part of the thought process. I'm like I'm going down this trail, and then like this, like it really goes down. Like there's this like big dip in the land for no reason. And then like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm like going down, and then I'm taking these like smaller steps. And then I'm like, oh, take the smaller steps first to then promote the greater healing. Like it worked out better in my head in the moment, but it really had to do with aligning with new offers that I'm creating. And I'll get more into that again, but I'm looking into doing coaching or building courses, or maybe building like a membership for people, and building a poetry space, like a poetry community online, and that you can receive coaching from me, and I can guide you, but I can also be providing prompts and providing this encouragement, and to build a community gets everybody able to share with each other if they want to, or if they are inspired by a certain poet, then they're there and accessible to ask a question, or we can give each other feedback. But I really want to facilitate that space. This is like the big vision I'm having right now. So anyway, taking the small steps really aligned with taking those right small steps before you do the big steps. And because like I'm just like walking normally when I'm trying to walk, it's like these like regular like pace, like footsteps or whatever, or I'm just trying to get from one room to the other quickly because I can. But it's not serving me enough yet. So anyway, that was like big revelation. So anyway, so I'm continuing down, and then like it just is like this kind of like gravelly path that like loops back up. But then I look to my right, and then I see like the cliff or whatever you call it, and the incline, and I'm like, I want to climb that. I'm going to climb that. So immediately forgetting what I was telling myself about taking small steps, I went climbing up this slope. It felt amazing. So, I mean, it's really funny though, because the way that my foot is stiff, it's easier to go uphill than it is to go downhill. Like going down the stairs hurts, like, or it's awkward. I'm still, like I still don't have the bend to my foot yet to do that properly. But going upstairs, easy. Okay, that's the first time in my life. Going uphill is the easier route. Sure, I'll take it. So, so then I have to go and take these like big steps to get up the cliff, and be stable and stuff, and have the momentum to keep going up, and then you just can't go back down, so you got to keep going. And like and then it was some struggle. I also had a bag on my shoulders because of course I always had to carry a bag, and a journal and pen and all these things. And so I'm carrying that, I'm balancing myself on this steep hill, and it gets steeper as I reach the top. And then I'm like grabbing onto logs and different stuff to scramble on up. But wow, the feeling of success when I reached the top, and like this like laughter and joy. And the really cool thing was that doing that helped bend my foot into different positions and stretch it into different positions than I actually was able to before. Or like on my own at home, like I can stretch it, I can push it in different ways, sort of like yoga-ish moves. I don't do yoga, still got to get myself to do yoga more properly. But doing this kind of wild random adventure um pushed my body in different ways. Like it was this like necessary thing, and it just made me feel so much more connected to nature and the nature of our bodies. Because whatever were we before all this civilization and having homes and safety and roads and cars, vehicles to take us places? We were always walking and traveling and training our feet and our bodies. And this like comfort and safety of the world, well, it's wonderful for the healing process, but like it's not natural. So like doing this, going uphill this cliff, it was natural for my body. And I swear I was walking straighter after doing that. I walked back and forth in the moss afterwards, and it felt so good. I went back the next day and did the same thing. And then I found myself when I was back at the top again, stretching, and I was crying because I could feel the shift and the change in my foot bending farther than it had. If you've spent so long broken and you can feel yourself emerge, like even incrementally like that, to feel that capacity of normalcy again is just wow. Beautiful is one word, but it's not enough. It's not enough. To feel like I can walk again is amazing. It's been a whole journey since the moment I broke my foot to like right now in this moment. When I broke my heel, like I knew immediately this was like the spark of a big change in my life. Just couldn't achieve things, of course, or work towards it right away because the immediate action was a heavy healing process. But now I have arrived at so many more ideas and so much more clarity on my purpose in the world and what I need to bring to this world. What I set out to do last summer was to go and share my poetry with the world, and got a little sidetracked, but it was still the process and it was still the journey. But this poetic journey, this artistic poetic journey is not just simple. It's not just sharing what I finally created after 3 or 4 years of effort creating these books, of writing and publishing and stuff. It wasn't just going out and performing. Like I did a couple of those, but that still wasn't the point. And the point was still like you're going to have more crazy poetic stuff happening during the journey of sharing what you had written. So it's this like challenge of living in the present as well as expressing what I had learned in the past. And like it never stops. It never stops. I needed the new energy and I needed the momentum. I needed more of a plan. I mean, I went out with no plan last summer. Like that was the joy of it. That really was the joy of it. But I eventually suffered from being totally broke. Like I was broke at the end of the summer. I can laugh now. I mean, I was probably realistically kind of laughing then, but it hurt. It did hurt. But just learning a lot more about abundance and feeling abundance that is really with me in the heart, that is always with me. And feeling into that abundance brings me more. And with that has come so much more clarity on my purpose, what I want to create, and how I'm going to create it, who's going to be a part of my journey. What I really want to do is inspire young people to uh, find their own sense of self-expression. And my biggest gift to helping people do that is through poetry. So, people can find self-expression in so many different ways, but if somebody, whatever, is drawn to poetry, and you don't really know where to get started, or you don't have the drive, I can help you. I can help you. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. Am I ready? I'm ready. I'm just going to talk about it. So, I mean, the big plan is to create a proper course and ways. And I want people's feedback too. I'm going to start by creating a community. I'm going to do some going on Facebook or Instagram live, or doing some Zoom like calls with groups of people. And I really want your opinions. Like, how can I help you? What would you be looking for? I'm totally here for you, and I can answer a lot of questions. I can look up things. Like, I've done a lot. Like, I've gone through so many things in my life that, like, I can meet you on so many different levels empathetically if you had certain needs, I guess, what you wanted. I mean, poetry is just such a beautiful healing device in life to, really, how do I put it? Really bring you into your own power, that you can say, like, this is how I'm feeling and this is what this looks like for me. Because you can say that it hurts, and people will say, oh, I'm sorry. Like, no, it hurts like this. And people can be like, I feel you and I connect with you. Thank you for bringing me those words to really show me what's in your heart. Like, that feels so good. When I get that response from people, it is so cool, because originally I was writing the poetry for myself, and to find, and I know it's good because I have my own standards, and when I say a poem is done, it's because it meets my own standards. But still, you just don't know if that's going to connect with other people, because we all have different interests. We all have different musical interests. Like I said, like, I love punk rock. Other people do not have the ears for it. And, like, that's fine. Totally fine. But it's extra exciting when I'm, like, coming from this kind of, like, darker Edgar Allan Poe artist background, and emo screamo music, and like, these are the poets and the writers who have really deeper inspired me through, because I have more of this kind of darker interest. And for people in, like, this, like, more, how we say, enlightened wellness, self-care, healing spaces, like, it's, just the idea of punk rock and wellness, right? Like, they seem to be on a different wavelength, and they are, but they're not. That's the beauty of it. So when my words can connect with different people in different areas, then I know that they are actually more effective on even a greater level, and that's super cool. So I'm gonna read what's in the back of my book, Emptiness of the Way, the third one, and it's a pretty good description on how I feel that poetry is this beautiful device. Okay. I stumbled into the void and learned her name was poetry. I've known her forever, really. Now she wanted to talk, so I listened. She asked me desperately to channel her words onto page, bring the sustenance of her soul into the physical plane. The challenge is that I'd never be prepared for when she would speak. Rather, I would never know, so it was best to prepare. Always have a journal and pen, phone with a built-in notepad, voice recorder if need be. Poetry arrives in bursts. Some distant dimension where it lives sends information when her timing is best. Poetry doesn't think like we do. She has her own agenda and is heard as a different voice by everyone. Her skill is finding people when the moment is right, when the medicine is needed. Yes, poetry is a healer. Love that description. I mean, that's honestly, if I need to write anything else, I don't know if I need to write anything else to entice people to join the program that I'm creating. Like that is just a fantastic definition of what it is I'm going to be creating and offering into the world. In a community that you could be a part of. Think of it as healing. Think of it as you don't have to force yourself to write a poem. It's going to happen. It's going to come when it needs to come. Like you kind of don't really get to decide, but you get to put yourself into the mindset and to receive the words and to listen and to get yourself into a writing practice. That's what I can help you do. And so what I'm really looking towards is doing a membership to join. You know, you get to work with me, and at least, you know, you get to work with me and be a part of a poetry community. And I'm going to be sending you different prompts and enticing you and getting you into webinars and doing very regular webinars, and then also reading poetry to keep inspiring you or show you the writing that I am currently doing. Because when I write something, other people are connecting with it around the same time, or they have the same sort of feelings. That's what's really awesome about sharing poetry too. It's like finding that other people are also needing the medicine that I was able to craft into words in that moment. That's really wonderful. So the plan for that is going to be $111 per month. Just to put that out there, so you know, $111. Love the number, and it's powerful. And doing things in threes is affirming its magic. So, and then the bigger coaching, or like course creation is going to be $3,333. Also a fun number. And that's for anybody who's like really serious. They want a writing practice and they want to start expressing their poetry, and they need somebody who has this drive and the skill to teach and share and encourage. Yeah, that's big. That's big, right? Because poetry is so undervalued in society these days. Like, so undervalued. Like, I have gone along thinking for a long time that I'm just going to be the starving artist because I write beautiful words, but it doesn't mean anything financially. Oh my God, but it does. Oh my God, it does. Like, what? People hold poetry at high value in their hearts. So why can't you spend money on having that inspiration and having that push and even accountability too, right? Like, if you value what poetry can bring to you, then look into it. Think about it. Start thinking about how you can actually transform your life by building this. Like, and it's love. It is so much love in poetry because you're pouring your heart out, and opening up your heart is love. Even when it has these negative emotions hanging in there, the point is that you will be releasing those from your mind and your heart. You get to put it on page. You get to take it out of your mind and out of your body, and then be able to reflect on it. And then you get to work on it, because it's not just writing the perfect poem right off the bat. That sometimes happens, but not always. You get to edit it. And then when you're looking back on it and editing it, then you get to figure out the right words that actually are powerful. Right? Like that. Like, yeah, you never hand in your essay to your teacher or professor that was completely unedited. I mean, sometimes you did because you finished it at 4 a.m. It was due at 6 a.m. But, right. Or you handed in submitted the assignment online at 5:59 when it was due at 6. And you're like, I just actually hope that it went through and technology works and I met my deadline. Poetry doesn't have to be like that, because you're not submitting it to anyone. It's not due. It's nothing. Like in my course, I might have you try to meet a deadline just to give you a deadline and the purpose, but I'm not marking you. I wouldn't be marking your grades or giving you anything. I think that's what a lot of people are also afraid of, is like when they were in school and they had to do a poetry thing and then they don't understand, or it's supposed to mean something this way or that. Doesn't matter. It's what it means to you. And me guiding you, like as a teacher, it's not about me saying that was right or wrong. It was, did you really deliver that how it was meant to be delivered? Like if I read it and echo back to you something, then you'll be like, no, that's not the point. I'll be like, okay, what was the point? Shift the words, change it, take out the outline. I'm sorry, but the kill your darlings, that's a term. Even though you love the line, it was written perfectly, maybe take it out. Save that for another poem, another endeavor. Like, as long as it's written, then it's not going to disappear into the ethers. Like, that's the scary part. Sometimes I write poetry really in that moment because I'm terrified I'm going to lose it. Okay, like that beautiful thought is never going to come back. Not the way that it did. It can be just gone into the void. That's what got me obsessed with this idea of the void. Like, curious about what I write about. I write about the void. What really got me started was this idea of the void and things disappearing into it, and you never get them back again. Musicians experience this all the time. If they didn't get right over to the saxophone and record it right in that moment, it's gone. Too bad, so sad. You just don't get that back. You don't. Even if you put yourself, you might get a little bit of it if you put yourself back in the same headspace that you had, but it's just like walking into a room and completely forgetting why you went there and you knew it 3 seconds ago. Let's give a moment of silence for that feeling. Yeah. You can grieve what you've forgotten, but not for long. Just keep creating. There's no point. I mean, there is a point, and you can write an obsessive poem about finding what got lost in the void. I actually wrote an entire essay on that. But then you just keep carrying on with the different inspirations because, yeah, you can't hang on like that. So, those are the big plans right now. Those are my offers, and then, I mean, you can even look into buying like the coaching course thing like now. That's the idea. It would be courses, so you'd get a bunch of stuff that's already set up for you online, so you can go at totally your own pace. But then there would also be coaching calls that we can get on for half an hour at a time, and just like go over things. You can ask me questions, and I can coach you through. I can yell at you. Yeah, honestly, me yelling at you can really shake you into the right place. Don't be afraid of the idea of me yelling at you to like fix something. Then it'll just be the kick in the butt you needed, right? Like when I was learning to drive, I just kept forgetting to use the left and right turn signals. It just, while I was focusing on learning everything else about driving, like not running into things and going at the right speed, I just kept forgetting the signal, and so I just told my mom, like, just yell at me, just keep telling me so that I'm annoyed with you enough to just do it so that you shut up. It's not always that simple, right? you just take it for what it is. Sometimes it's really annoying to be yelled at. So then you just do things so that people stop yelling at you, right? Is that the healthiest way to do things? I don't know. Help me learn to drive and be legal on the road. So works for me. But I am really, really pumped and excited about getting this poetry community going. I think it's going to be an amazing resource for a lot of people to connect. And I want to do that. I want to help people in my life. I want right? I think it's going to be super cool. That's my opinion. That's my joy. That's my my purpose, my drive right now. Oh, again, happy Aquarius. It's like new year, new breath of fresh air. Yeah, right. Aquarius is the air sign, is an air sign, and it is signified, or its symbol is a person pouring water. And like, if you're wondering if you've come to the right place, I fully identify with being Aquarius. I love it. I am a breath of fresh air, dear. And I love tea. And I just pour pots of water all day long. Not all day long, but all day long. I'm just pouring water. And I am an air sign, air energy. And right? Like it's this like one. It's the sign that like I took many years to find out that it was an air sign because I'm just thought obviously the person pouring a jug of water, it's a water sign. Nope, that's Pisces next month. So, I mean, actually, it started off earlier today. There was a great meditation from Kathy from the end of the 21-day challenge thing, and I just bawled my eyes out. Like it was just so pulling me into myself. Like I saw my future self. I held her hand. I gave her a hug, and we talked. Quotations. I don't know. We didn't have a conversation because it was a guided meditation, but it's the idea of sitting there talking with myself, and I love myself. I love her, and whoever she's going to be soon, I love her. That was really amazing. So, yeah, I am so ready to bask in this Aquarius energy and just get my year started. Woo! Okay. And again, today I am drinking Divine Madman tea. It was the same one I was drinking during the recording of my last podcast. So obviously I'm very drawn to this one, but it was such great energy. I mean, I love starting off like slower in my day and then just like merging into like this like really potent, powerful, buzzy energy. Like, I don't drink coffee, but I drink good tea. Again, if you're wondering how something other than coffee can make you feel energetic and amazing, tea. It's your answer. Period. I'm gonna drink some. Mm. Oh, so smooth, so beautiful, so much, so much. Oh, I love that rattle. As a way of just clearing the mind. I've used it to really open up my throat chakra too. Excuse me. Like I don't feel like doing a session of it right now, but I've gotten really deep with just really shaking it around my throat, and then I'm vibing, and then I'm singing to it. I'm just vocalizing to it, and it might kind of like start off sounding really ugly, but then it just like really releases so much. Like you can't even put into words everything that is stuck inside of your body. It's beyond words. It's just is alive and it's in there, and we have vocal cords to just release it. And that's part of what went into my singing to the dead album was me just vocalizing and feeling things that I'm feeling, and it's beyond words. You just can't really put that human technology into it. Like it's just feeling, it's just being. So this rattle has really helped me break through some things, and it's manifested some stuff, that's for sure. Helped kind of my journey last year of like starting to put some like words to my singing and music to my poetry, because it was all words, and I've been really practiced at that point to be just rehearsing the word, or not rehearsing, but like reading off the page and really bringing in that beautiful poetic feeling. But it basically summoned a guitarist who picked up my poetry book and was like, I can make a song out of that. And I'm like, what? How did you do it? And I just like soaked in the vibe and energy, and then I learned how to do it. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so right now I'm shuffling some cards for this herbal astrology oracle deck. My friend Bronwyn gave it to me for Christmas, and it's just lovely. It is full of different kinds of herbs and what their meanings are. And I am going to pull a card that signifies this Aquarius energy. So let's see what we got. Ooh, skull cap. Stillness. I wanted momentum. What are you talking about? Oh, all right. Sorry. Yes, I can complain at my oracle. Because I thought the vibe was something different. So hold on. Let's just see. Let's see. What does Skullcap have to say for Aquarius? Stillness. All right, so I don't really care for the upside down version for this kind of deck. I don't know. Anyway, here's the upright. And I'll read the upright and reversed meanings because it might mean something for you, but I only feel like the upright, to be honest. Stillness after the storm. Let go of control. Trust in life. Surrender to the divine plan. Break open. Okay, I agree. Let's I can move into this with more ease now. Reversed. Breakdown, fright, post-traumatic stress disorder, unable to move on, broken. Ooh, very interesting. That's like that does signify the growth that I have been through recently, of really overcoming things that were stuck in my mind, my body, my mindset, how I thought about things, and this transformative power. Okay. The astrological ruler is Pluto and Saturn. Pluto a little far away and stuff. Okay. Skullcap's genus name, Scutellaria, comes from the Latin scutella, meaning a small dish or tray. This describes the shape of the calyx at the base of the flowers, which resembles a miniature skull. In traditional Chinese medicine, the roots of the species Scutellaria biancolensis has been widely used for more than 2,000 years to treat cancer, lung and respiratory infections, cold, bacterial pneumonia, liver imbalances, hypertension, insomnia, inflammation, diarrhea. Okay, the first few parts of that, by the way, were lung stuff. And guess what? We're going into the air sign. All right. The Cherokee and other North American tribal peoples use skullcap to ceremonially initiate young girls into womanhood. The Cherokee created decoctions of the roots to treat breast pain, menstrual pain, kidney problems, and to stimulate the reproductive system post-birth. The Iroquois used an infusion of the powdered roots to prevent smallpox and keep the throat clear. During the 19th and 20th centuries, the eclectic physicians prescribed skullcap for nervousness, exhaustion, muscular spasm, heart disorders, hysteria, uncontrollable muscular tremors, and convulsions. Spiritually, skullcap has been used to bind oaths and consecrate commitments. It is a useful ally in initiation rituals, imprinting the vows made to oneself or between lovers. Skullcap is ruled by Pluto, the archetype representing our will and power, which ties our relationships to our inner authority and leadership. Listen to that. Okay, that is definitely tying into me wanting to lead a poetry community. Yes. All right. Sorry. Inserting my own. All right. Guidance. The storm has passed. You've just weathered or are weathering a storm. Ground deeply into the present moment. If you feel fear, find consolation in stillness as it readapts. The medicine of Scorpion embodies the stillness of darkness, and it assists by accepting sudden change with ease and calm. If you're feeling exhausted, drained, or depleted, this is the time to pause and withdraw to your cave. You're in the process of rebuilding after the storm. Don't rush. Reflect. Take the time to birth a new structure that supports a new version of yourself. So mote it be. Let's give that a little bell here. Yeah. All right. Stillness is the medicine, then. It mentions a scorpion because there's a picture of a scorpion on the card. Stillness is the medicine if you are overthinking and you're just over processing something swirling around in your head over and over. This stillness, just to calm and come back into that pure void energy in your mind, in your body. And the reflection, the calm, stillness is healing. If you need to rest, if you're overdoing it, just pulling yourself back into your actual being. Oh, I love that. I love that. That is all right. That's exciting. I'm sorry, card, that I yelled at you to begin with. It does describe a lot of what I'm actually going through and what Aquarius energy is going to bring into this world. 2025 Aquarius. All right. It's the age of Aquarius. I don't really know the song that well, but you need to hear that. Okay. Okay. I wanted to read another oracle card from the Rose deck. I feel like that's really drawing me, and I actually want to just do it for myself. But honestly, I want to read some of my poetry because I love reading poetry. Ooh, curses. Engulfed by the darkness of fear, navigating a path to divine unconditional love. Tea energy is love if I knew just how to taste it. Forget the lovely things in life. This is the time to be brave. Expose my demons for what they are. Let them find their way to the page. I, for one, am not sinister. More a protagonist without goals. Watching a curious white rabbit at night, awaiting fragrant curses to spawn. Intent as I may be, they do not come to me. Perhaps the meditative silence is forcing me to sleep. Perhaps I cannot live this way, a never-ending game and charade. Let this charm not spook me. Lend a hand to end this dismay. Cursing the curse itself. Ooh, you know what? Here's a fun one. Okay. Fun? I don't know, but this is a big one. To love myself. To love myself, I had to let you go. Your spirit surrounds me like a heavenly ghost. I had to let you go. Your smile, courage, support. I had to let you go. For with support came the inability to do that for myself. I need to be me alone. What is hard to admit is relationship after relationship. Who am I on my own? I can't fix the problems we cycle through. What I know is to be strong, move on. Pass this poetry through my whispering lips. Bravery is the next step. Inside my car, I'm all alone. What I need, my medicine, is this. I've surpassed any knowing. Logic is out of the question. This book you gave to me with my name engraved upon it. Wasn't this a wish to grow into myself? To discover who is Rochelle in these pages? Void-like emptiness is the foundation for light. You'll see this at the end of the road. Hunger pangs in my stomach. I've hardly eaten. I'm busy living a story, one where the heart is battling. I battle. Between love of my past and present, who I've known, seen, adored, forgetting me. It's time to store up my energy, believe in what others see. Confidence, beauty, humor. I'm not saying it was ever your fault. I need to be alone and revive. Need to pass through life unperceived. Need to find balance in light and dark, through the tunnel of love and be. This won't make me fall, I'll stand. Carry your memory up high, your heart in my stride. This is me. I let go. Walk away into new existence. Cast myself into the void. Oh, wow. That was the next beginning. There's been several beginnings, but that was the beginning of my journey to really finding myself. Like I said in there, just in different relationships, just jumping into them. Don't give myself time to fully find myself and my energy, my vibe. And, like, you can't help falling in love. You can't, but you can make a choice on how much you're loving yourself rather than giving yourself to love other people. That is a whole journey. That is a whole journey. That's a sign. That's a sign from me to you. If in your relationship that you're in currently, if you're not giving enough time to yourself, start to give more time to yourself and just see how that affects things. And if you're giving yourself enough time, accommodating for yourself, and that doesn't make your partner happy, you have to reconsider what that relationship is all about. Is it about them? Or is it about you finding your path? Is it the partnership? But do you get to be your own person? Yeah. let that sink in for a while. And while I let you have that sink in, I'm going to shuffle the deck of the Rose Oracle. All right, I'm going to pull this card for myself, but it's likely you're going to connect to. Held. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. All right, let's find this. When times are turbulent, to keep ourselves steady, we need something to hold on to. When things are crumbling around us, we must find something we can count on that won't budge. Deep roots that hold us steady when the winds of change come blowing. A supportive community around us. When we leave home, we must find something to hold us. When our lover leaves, we must find something to hold us. When the job ends, we must find something to hold us. When our parents die, we must find something to hold us. When we think there's nothing holding us, it's an invitation to find new supportive ground. This is where we can discover the sureness of the soil, the holding of the roots, and reach out to our community for extra holding. We were never meant to grow on this earth alone. Sometimes life rips us from what we cling to the most, or perhaps we cling to it for we can feel the cycles of change coming. Yet in the darkness of our longest, darkest night, we discover that it's in the empty spaces that we can be reached and held the most. It's in these that we discover a holding that we didn't know before. And we discover that what we thought was a tomb was actually a womb. You're being called to trust the great mother has got you, to trust in the sureness of her soil, to trust the process of what's unfolding, and that you're not going through this alone. How can you call in more support to your life? What's holding you right now? What is it? Is it the chair? Is it the couch? Is it your bed? Is it the ground? Is it the seat in your car while you're listening to this driving? Is it the earth? Is it the sand? Is it somebody? Is somebody there holding you? Is it your beliefs? Is it your mindset? What are you feeling that is keeping you feeling held and loved and alive? I'm so excited for this year. This year is going to be amazing. And I hope that you're going to join in this journey with me, because I have so much bursting excitement for what is going to come. And I think you're going to thrive having my energy within your field. Stay tuned.